I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Network. Well, we've talked a lot about universities, right? Liberal universities, radical leftist universities. They're trying to corrupt our youth. That's how they're trying to get more and more leftists and Democrats, socialists. Let's be honest, okay? That's sort of a form of grooming too, is it not? I believe it is. They're grooming voters. So anyway, we've seen these woke professors and all this craziness going on. So it was only a matter of time before you would have, like MIT. We know Harvard's went ultra woke. Well, MIT has, we know, some of the smartest people in the world. And somehow, some way, they decided to waste their time to create a video game at MIT that promotes the confrontation of white women in the Midwest over supposed simulated xenophobia aboard an airplane. Yeah, you can't, at this point, we can't make this kind of shit up. I mean, it's crazy, but you're going to see more and more of this creep into different things. And it's scary that now this is sort of interactive, right? Interactive. I mean, shit that just never really happens, okay? You'll see these viral videos of somebody on a plane confronting somebody else and for all kinds of various reasons. But, there's thousands of flights a day. People, do they realize that, right? So, anyway, I saw this and was like, this is interesting. Blaze News, MIT video game gets players to confront white Midwestern women aboard an airplane over her simulated xenophobia. Massachusetts Institute of Technology researchers have they developed a video game where players can virtually signal their virtue. Virtue signaling video game. Wow. I can't wait for Black Lives Matter 2 Fallout. One academic has expressed optimism that this game signals an opportunity in the virtual space to inoculate users against purportedly discriminatory ways of thinking. God dang. This is nuts. Researchers Calgler Yildrimin and Fox Herald's virtual reality game, quote, On the Plane, pits fictional antagonist Mary Ann, a Midwesterner white woman, quote, with limited exposure to different cultures and customs, against Sarah, hijabi woman whose Muslim immigrant parents evidently have afforded her greater cultural knowledge and relative innocence. Come on. Wow. The researchers, both with the Computer Science and Artificial Laboratory at MIT, you know what's amazing about this? Is that universities are not, they're promoting this, they're allowing professors to waste their time creating this kind of crap. I mean, probably not only wasting their time, the university is probably, they're going to be brave, stunning, and courageous by the time this whole thing is over, in the eyes of the university they work for. The researchers, both with the Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Laboratory at MIT, let's think about all the shit they could be working on right now. But instead, we're making an activist video game, suggested in a paper that computationally supported role-playing games have the potential to promote successful perspective taking. Perspective taking requires that an individual, quote, walk a mile in someone else's shoes and challenge his or her own preconceptions. That sounds much better than playing Halo. The adoption of different avatars, each with its own preloaded baggage and perspective, can allegedly help in this regard. Yildrimin and Harold noted that their game affords players the ability to experience the simulation of air travel experience, airport security screening, and in-flight events from different, quote, in-group and out-group perspectives for the purpose of simulating and challenging in-group, out-group biases with the context of xenophobia. Oh, Christ. The players can assume the perspective of Marianne, Sarah, or a flight attendant who is more or less an empty vessel and bystander. Whereas Marianne is regarded as, quote, in-group member, Sarah is regarded as and coded as an out-group member. It would appear that only the former can hold prejudices and only the latter can fall prey to bloodless victimization. Depending on a player's responses and choices in the game, the player's standing in the simulation will change along with non-playable characters' facial expressions. If the player aligns more with Sarah, then Marianne will make her dissatisfaction known. Quote, we can customize how comfortable Marianne, the in-group member, appears while interacting with Sarah, the out-group member, wrote the resources. By the same token, token indeed, we can customize how Sarah dynamically reacts to xenophobic attitudes portrayed by Marianne. Well, I'm sure if you follow the activist values, then whichever one is in the non-woke group will probably be physically accosted and assaulted. Quote, through the exchange between the two passengers, is Antifa going to pop on the screen and drag the player off and beat the shit out of them? Just wondering. Is there a portion where I can play some Navy SEALs that decide to clean the streets up? Through the exchange between the two passengers, players experience how one passenger's xenophobia manifests itself and how it affects the other passenger. The simulation engages players in critical reflection and seeks to foster empathy for the passenger who was, quote, othered due to her outfit being not so prototypical of what an American should look like. Yo, Drim, man. Yale Drim, man. Yeah. Told MIT News. I'm not editing that out. I really don't give a rip what this guy's name actually is. While apparently keen to combat discriminatory mindsets, makes no mention of whether his game, in turn, contains significant implicit biases or so-called microaggressions. When you start hearing these kind of terms like microaggressions, problematic, you know we're in space cadet waters at this point. Such as his socio-economically charged presentation of the Midwestern female character as one suffering a lack of exposure or intimidation that Sarah, the Indianapolis native, would necessarily be culturally enriched as a result of her Malaysian ancestry. Well, okay, so there's a problem if somebody decides to be from the Midwest, and I'm going to throw the South in here because I know how y'all feel about that, you woke motherfuckers. There's a problem if people feel more comfortable around people that have their same values and mindsets. Why is that a problem? Just wondering. I mean, why is that a thing? You know, most people, a lot of people may never even board a plane in their life. Okay, they may never. I know people that have never left basically like a 4 or 5 county area. Does that make them bad people? Well, they haven't experienced these people. Well, but they can literally be born and make it all the way to death and be successful at a job, raise good children. You know, this kind of shit's so not practical to me. I mean, and the fact that they wasted time as opposed to put it towards something that they could do that might better our planet or better our the United States of America in some valuable contribution way, tangible. All right, they decided to make a woke video game, virtual reality video game. Matt Lamb noted in a recent piece for the Washington Examiner that the game relies on stereotypes. So maybe the game itself is racist. Are the creators of the game, are they racist? Marianne, the white woman, has xenophobic expressions and attitudes towards Sarah. So are we saying that a black person cannot look upon a white person in a derogatory manner, and that is not going to be a xenophobic expression? Is that what we're getting to? Because that's kind of where it seems like we're going in society. And I'm just not talking about blacks either. I'm talking about anybody of any other ethnicities. Because you know what they also are? They're prejudiced in some way against somebody. I mean, let's just keep it real. Putting aside that Islam is a religion, not a race or ethnic identity, how does it fight racism to make the white Midwestern woman the bad character, wrote Lamb? Exactly. It's a great question. On the Plane is a product of the MIT Institute for Data Systems and Society's initiative on combating systemic racism. Oh, God. The initiative is purportedly looking to, quote, identify and overcome racially discriminatory processes. Harold, a professor at the university, is literally burning in MIT's money. Serves on the initiative steering committee. See, they created a committee. I told you they would celebrate this. He also is helming the ICSR's anti-racism games and immersive media vertical. Fuck. Which seeks to use virtual words and virtual identities to reprogram human beings and purge them of their alleged racial biases. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know with that one line, which seeks to use virtual words and virtual identities to reprogram you, human beings, and purge them of alleged racial biases. Man, the Great Reset is real. My God, this article's long. This is exactly where I'm going to stop because, yeah, we're 12 minutes in. But do you see what's going on? We just talked about it at the very beginning of this damn video. Okay, I sent my kid off to school, and that's exactly what's happening. They're seeking to reprogram their upbringing, rob them of the morals and values set that was instilled by their parental figures, how they were raised to believe. They want to tell you how you were raised to believe is bad. You're evil because you were raised a certain way. Oh, you got traditional values? You're evil. Let us reprogram you. Let us help you identify in a different way. What kills me is the people that are doing this, honest to God, I don't know, are they not taking a step back and realizing what they are doing themselves is actually a form of racism? Are you missing that? Because just the fact that you decided to identify a white Midwestern woman and make assumptions about her, damn, I'm so fired up I hit my mic. I mean, you seem to be doing the exact same thing that you're trying to combat in theory. Guys, I'm telling you, if you got children, whatever you're doing, you got to watch in public school now, junior high, high school, universities, MIT, Harvard, Yale. All these MFers have went woke, CRT, indoctrination of your children because they want to tell you if you're conservative, your value set is wrong. No, it's not. That's what you can do with it. Oh, well, he's so ignorant. I'm not out there assuming certain races are just racist themselves. All right? I don't believe that a single black person can't apply themselves and, for the most part, become successful in about anything they want to do. That's sort of the left shit, isn't it? well, they're holding you back from doing blah, blah, blah. No, that's y'all shit. That's not our shit. That's what you're promoting. That's not what we're promoting. If you're willing to work for whatever you got or want to achieve and work hard enough, you can get it, and they ain't no systemic racism. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. I like these longer videos like this. A little more podcasty. I saw this. I was like, I'm making a video on this shit. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.